Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
How important corn is to us?
How important is corn, Chachi?
Look at Rob's shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special edition of the AwesomeCast.
Oh,
we
Cornycast?
are the what?
Cornycast?
The Cornycast now. We are on location, trying out something a little different, hence the closeness of our co-hosts. We're down at Caribou Coffee, down at the South Side Works. They've been gracious enough to let us bring a camera.
They have,
and we have
no meat.
Meatless sandwiches. How about that? What is this? Tomato and
it doesn't matter.
It's probably guacamole. I think
the main
some
fat, there's
selection.
mozzarella.
No,
Some
that's
selection of cheese.
That's
Mozzarella?
Yeah,
Mozzarella?
it's mozzarella, and it's not guacamole. It's some kind of pesto.
Pesto.
Some
No,
kind
put
of
the
pesto.
sandwich. Put the anti-sandwich down.
Put the anti-sandwich down.
Pizza caprese, baguette.
We're just come out from watching The Social Network. Most of us half of us for the first time here. With us, of course, Rob is here with a fantastic mustache and full living color for you.
Full color,
There you
yeah.
go.
Old-timey
amazing.
You're
color.
actually in color.
I know, it's weird.
Hey, you're not on camera. You're not allowed to talk.
Shut it.
Push. There is an audience of one.
Yeah, there you go.
Audience of one.
There you go. You're the audience.
I'm the intern.
The AOF.
But also with us, or
AOF.
I don't know why there's an F in there. The AOO.
also with us are Malengo and Chachi. How you guys doing?
We're all right.
Good.
I'm good.
Excellent. So, lewd things. I think, at least we raised this to a PG rating. Probably higher now.
That's my fault.
That is definitely your fault. Okay. I guess we should go ahead and go around and ask, what did you guys think of the movie? Malenko, did you like the movie? What did you think?
Are we just general?
We're just doing it.
Netflix rating?
Okay, well, now you have a very specific rating.
I do.
We've had this conversation about how you use your Netflix stars a lot differently than the rest of us in the office.
Yeah.
So what do you think
I
of the
have
movie?
2 ratings.
Okay.
A Netflix base, I'd probably give it a 3-star, and I would probably recommend it to others. It was good. It's not a rental. I'd pay $5 to see it.
Somebody's attacking us through the window.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Tired of staring at their underwear.
I'd pay $5.
$5.
$5. All right. How about you, Chach?
Well, I had seen it already,
Yeah.
and then I paid to go see it again.
That says something.
So obviously, it's good enough to pay to see.
Yeah. Same here. Same here. Rob, how
I
about
give
you?
it 4 stars.
4 stars.
Yeah.
All right. Rob?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I liked it a whole lot. It was pleasantly surprising. I have some discretions with what people said about Mark seeming like a normal guy, and he didn't seem like a normal guy at all.
No.
He seemed like a really... I know people who are like him, and I hate those people. So I went to college with people like that, and I hated them a lot. But I'd say my usual scale is how I would recommend this to somebody, and I would say it is worth a $7 ticket to go see it in a theater.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And if you don't have a chance to see it while it is in theaters, definitely see it at home. But it's obviously not a movie where there's a drawback from not seeing it in the theater or anything.
Well, let's talk about, we pretty much give an overview here, but what as a movie, apart from all the based on real facts, supposedly or not supposedly, what did you think of it as, we'll go around here, whatever, what did you think of it as a movie? I thought the dialogue was great.
I thought it was fantastic.
I mean, the dialogue
was
was
good.
I think we talked, the dialogue was punchy. It,
I mean, even in those first 5 minutes when Mark is when Mark Zuckerberg is talking.
See, then we wouldn't have to worry about them mistaking if this is how the guys really like. Because who's Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah,
That's true.
But when he was talking to his then girlfriend, that first 30 seconds of dialogue, they caught my interest. I was like, oh, this is gonna
And
be
actually,
good.
second time seeing it, there was stuff in that first dialogue that I didn't even catch before. But it was a very fast-paced thing. And I think it's one of those that loses a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, I thought dialogue was good. It flowed well as a movie. Shots were nicely done. Yeah, and the funny thing was the things that made no sense to me from the programming sense. It was still okay. I was able to tolerate it because that's where they were coming from. Like I understood. Okay, I'm not going to understand what they're talking about there, but it works for what. Like I could still figure out what was going on a primitive level, I guess. So yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I think that. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah,
I got nothing.
On the programming side, like I got a kick out of that first section where he's programming the face smash. Or
it was legit. It was.
I mean, it was like that is like stuff.
Legit.
That's code that I've heard of before.
We've come a long way from the days of hackers in 1995, where it's like plastered on your screen.
The internet is not represented in some really bad CG anymore. As awesome as Hackers is, come on, that was like 1990. I always thought Hackers was supposed to be in the future.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
No,
it was supposed to be present day in 1995.
Yeah.
Right. That was not Windows 95.
Right.
Okay. But this was, I mean, I think they did a really good job of representing, like, it starts in 2003, this movie.
Yeah.
And you saw, like, Macs that weren't, like, the nice unibody Macs now,
Yeah, the old school PCs.
ones. You saw a lot of I/O computers, but of course it was a Sony picture. So,
and as far as like as somebody who's familiar with all the tech that he was dealing with, the level of detail they went into had me giddy. I'm like, that's down to how much a domain costs.
Yeah.
It was $34.95 from Network Solutions.
Network Solutions. Yeah, I cut that screen this time around. I'm like, wow,
that was amazing. And WGET and all the server talk and everything, like it made sense. It was legit, but it wasn't so high nerdy and involved that it would dissuade the average person.
The way I attribute it is for people that don't know the coding and don't know the tech and everything. I attribute it to like when you watch a political thriller.
Yeah.
Like Patriot Games or something.
Yeah.
And you don't understand exactly what the motivations are or anything, but it's at some point they step it out to you. This one is stepped out to, we got this web page. That's the end result. This is all jibber jabber. It's above my head. Same with like something political or some other kind of thriller that keeps you don't know who the bad guy is. And there's Chachi. But it wasn't over anybody else's hits. Now, I've never noticed this at the Southside Works. That is the best bass system I've ever seen.
It's pretty nice. The theaters are, the different theaters are kind of hit or miss. As somebody who's here every single Monday.
Yeah.
Every Monday. You take Mondays off.
Only the last two. Before that, it was like 43 consecutive Mondays. Yeah, about them apples. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Do you keep the movie stubs?
No, I don't. I throw them away.
Why?
Why don't I keep them?
Why do you keep them?
I don't really care.
Yeah.
Why?
What's Mondays on Southside? Is it just the $5 movie
$5 movies? It's simultaneously $5 Monday movie nights and wing night at Fathead's, 40-cent wings.
That's a good combination. Do they advertise cross between the two of them?
No.
They don't.
They should.
They should. Southside
really
Works is trying really hard. They at me on Twitter.
Yeah.
But Fathead's Twitter is not run by the owner. It's run by one of their bartenders or something. So he's like, he'll retweet me and stuff. But
anyways, other than plugging everything around the area, which I think we've done a really good job at.
Wings are so tasty. I can't help myself.
They are quite
Fathead
tasty.
Saloon down the south side. Well, like I said, that was a very bassy, booming.
Yeah, it was nice.
The
soundtrack
in there
was great.
The soundtrack by Trent Reznor and another guy I can't remember his name.
It doesn't matter.
You can tell it's Trent Reznor.
It doesn't
you
matter.
can hear the influence.
The Trent Reznor influence is there. It's a surprisingly dark film.
Well, yeah, because there isn't anything good going on at that time in the guy's life. He's being sued for $665 million.
Like how dark this film comes off.
How could you be happy?
How sexy they made.
Whoa. What are you getting at?
No, the ladies. There was a lot of
I don't think you had to do anything to them to make them sexy.
Yeah, I think they were already sexy.
Pretty sure they were that
sexy
way.
Pills and
No. I mean, they really played up. Like
Sexy
you're looking at
pills.
this as like a bunch of geeks making a website,
sexy pill.
and you really didn't expect there to be a. I think the average person doesn't expect there to be. A flashy sex factor.
Well, we're getting to that point where
Ladies love the geeks.
yeah, like we've gotten to that point where like being cool can involve being a geek in whatever you are, and that might be a computer geek, and geeks go out to clubs, geeks drink a lot, and geeks snort coke off of underage girls.
Right.
except for
You have no idea how many times I've gotten in trouble snorting coke off underage girls. You know.
we're living the life, the rock star life, right? But the closest I've seen to that is
cool on the internet.
Is the We Live in Public movie where they talked about the .comers and they went out to clubs and all the crazy flashiness, and I think this is the first kind of accurate portrayal of how that happened. I mean the whole kind of scene in the Silicon Valley and everything. So
anybody with money knows how to have a good party.
Right.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Even antisocial Mark Zuckerberg, apparently, according to that.
He didn't actually go to the last party.
He didn't throw any parties, so
no.
He just went because he had to.
Yeah.
What he did that the programming competition, that was awesome.
Explain that for people who haven't seen the movie. This is spoilers if you haven't seen it.
By the way, we're spoiling what you're about to pay $7.
Put that right here. We're not going to dance around crap. I hate when shows do that.
But so Mark had to hire interns for Facebook, the Facebook at that time, and he wanted to have a competition to see who could outwit his label out. To see who was as talented as he was, who was worthy of being an intern on Facebook, and so there's like 5 guys around a table, and the scene is that what was the guy's name? I don't even remember his name. The co-founder.
Eduardo,
thank you.
I don't know his last name.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
He's not important.
Right.
It's only the second main character in the film. Grinding. Is it alright?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll be good. We're in a coffee shop. This is the atmosphere.
So there's 5 guys around the table, and Eduardo walks in, and he sees, and it's like there's like a ton of people around. It's this big event. Everybody's like, it's loud. They're having a good time, and there's these 5 guys sitting in front of computers, and they're just coding the hell out of whatever they're doing. And Eduardo's like, what's going on? And he's like, well, I needed interns, so I gave them a challenge, and they have to. The challenge was basically they had to hack into a website and intercept the traffic in under 10 minutes.
Is automatically like cooler than what they did in Atlas.
Yeah, which is just like, wow, that's legit and cool.
It's like,
Eduardo Severin.
Eduardo Severin.
We
have a picture. Thanks to our off-camera intern. Let's see if we can pull it up.
He looks like that guy.
Well, he looks like. Well, at first I thought you pulled up the less popular of the Wilson brothers.
He was in the AT&T commercial with the postcards.
Luke?
Yeah.
Luke Wilson.
Right.
Yeah.
I screwed it up. I completely screwed it up.
Yeah, he does. He totally does.
No, he doesn't. You're wrong.
So anyway, the challenge was they had to break into this thing and intercept the traffic, and you throw me off with your image search here.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? There's a dude.
Look at that. There he is.
Luke Wilson. Technical. Luke Wilson with a little bit more weight.
A little more weight.
A little bit out of the pound, but he's got the nose.
It's got a little color there.
Look.
And so Eduardo asked him, hey, what's going on? He's like, well, I needed to hire some programmers, so I put up this challenge, and but we there's a little bit more to it, and you see this girl walking around the table, like dropping shots down next to everybody, and it seems like every 3 seconds a programmer is picking up a shot and taking it. He's like, well, there's a pop-up that comes up every 3 minutes, you have to close it, and the pop-up comes up, you have to take a shot, and every 3 minutes you have to take a shot, and every time you write 10 lines of code, you have to take a shot.
Oh, are these the Winklevoss twins? Wait, we'll hold on to this.
It's the greatest job interview ever.
Oh yeah.
By the way,
is that how you got your job at the law firm?
Awesome.
No, of course not. I had to wear a suit and I had to go sit in a room and talk to a bunch of people with no shots.
Ugh.
That's how I got my job.
Exactly.
Yeah, taking shots.
That'd be awesome if you you get dressed up really nice and you go and you're like trying your best to look like a teacher's student, kind of like, and like somebody just walks in the room and they don't like pass it to you. It's just like a girl walks in with like a little pencil skirt and she's like,
drink.
It's been 3 minutes.
well, it's not gonna drink itself, buddy. Keep going. There you go.
Time's ticking.
It's gonna be one of those every 3 minutes she walks in.
Yeah. And you're like, you just start looking, you're like, is it? And then you're waiting at that point, like, when's the next one? Alright. I thought it was really well shot, though, to get back to the movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, Aaron Sorkin, we
did a damn good job.
I mean, it's a really...
And the tilt shift for the, did I just blow your mind?
Tilt shift, help me out.
No,
Really? Really? Did I just supersede your video knowledge?
Maybe a little bit.
I think I did.
Maybe a little bit.
School.
Well, they don't know what a tilt shift is, so what are we talking about?
Okay. You remember the cruise scene where they're competing.
Oh, I love that scene.
Yeah, and
where it's like the blur around everything, and
it's a blur on the bottom, blur on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Tilt shift lens is a lens where the element of the lens is different from the focal
I don't
plane.
know what lenses. I edit safety.
But the effect, there's apps for your iPhone
art.
you can get like the tilt shift app, and when you take a photo, it applies that blurred effect. And what it does is when you apply that to a large landscape, it makes it look like a miniature model.
Oh, you're talking about like the rowing shot?
Yeah, the crew shot.
Yeah, because at first I was like, I thought it was just miniatures.
Yeah, it looks like a miniature. It's very cool.
That was pretty cool.
There's a lot of, if you go on like Vimeo, you'll find some like very nice high-speed shots of like a wharf where you see like hundreds of boats going in and out, but it looks like somebody's playing in their bathtub.
That's awesome. Pretty cool.
It was a really cool scene.
They practically did that whole, there's a lot of them. They practically did like that whole scene using tilt shift.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the close up on the face and everything. Oh,
I never thought rowing was so cool.
Yeah, yeah. It was like, man.
Until you saw that.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of watching the Olympics. It gets boring after a while, to be honest.
Right. But if they use that angle.
But if they use that, I'd watch everything.
NBC needs to listen. Hey, maybe they'll have a special on the internet, tilt shift webcam or something going on. So, I have a question for our special effects supervisor, or expert here.
What did you think of the explosion?
No. There was a surprising special effect I found out later after watching the movie. I had no idea.
Second time? I only saw it the first time.
Well, no, I found out after the movie. I looked it up.
I'm gonna try and...
The twins?
They weren't twins?
That's one guy.
Really? I was thinking about that. I was like, they look remarkably similar.
This guy, he looks like somebody that I've seen in a movie.
Yeah, he's 6'5", 220, and there's two of them.
Wow, they made a joke about that.
Yeah, that was funny. It's like, well, there's 220, there's two of me. I can do anything.
Well,
you had no idea,
I had no idea.
Exactly.
That is a lot of, wow, that's impressive.
That is really impressive.
That
is.
That was a lot of
work. Even to a certain point, like partway through the movie, I'm like, maybe it is only one of them. But I'm like, these are way too complicated shots. No way.
That was like, even in the crew and everything. Wow.
In the crew, you know?
My brain actually hurts right now.
I'm thinking about like them in the road tank. You know, and the water's lapping and everything, and they're on top of each other.
They really need to like do that.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just get a double?
They couldn't find two guys that looked like they row crew and happened to be twins.
If you noticed that whenever they did that stuff, like when they were going down the river, the second guy, the guy that was sitting behind, had a bandana on with dark sunglasses. So I think that it was a body double in that shot.
They had completely different body types.
Yeah.
I know that. Like if they were twins, they would have had the same biceps. Not that I was checking them out or anything. Sounds a little gay.
Well, there's a little picture. Actually, there's a little bit of Mark Zuckerberg with the Winklevoss. They don't even look alike enough in real life versus what they were in the movie. They pass that around.
Did you see the? There's an image being passed around. It's Andy Samberg.
Oh, they look like tools.
Physically being passed around. It's Andy Samberg. I just forget his name. He plays the awkward 12-year-old in every movie.
Yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, he's the one from SNL, right?
No, not Andy Samberg. Andy Samberg does not play an awkward 12-year-old in anything.
I don't know. Andy
Samberg is he's got a big nose, curly hair.
Okay.
On SNL. The other guy plays an awkward 12-year-old in like every movie ever. He was in I'm dead for names right now.
Awkward 12-year-old. I watch a lot of movies, but I missed half the conversation.
Is this the picture you're talking about?
No.
Okay.
No. Who's in the top left? Who is that?
Could you imagine being asked to mask for that shot?
Oh, it is.
And be like,
wait,
this is for Facebook.
Oh, they're just matched straight.
So
that's
what's his face?
I can't remember the Napster guy.
I can't remember the Napster guy.
Sean Parker.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
So this is the picture she just brought up. It's the actors.
Then I can Google
next to the
it'll come up.
real people from the movie.
Pass.
Oh, yeah, we're passing around. We're so meta here.
Actor. I'll find it. I will. Not Al Pacino.
Yeah, they don't look anything like any of their people.
Right.
Don't search for.
I'm trying to figure out if Jesse Eisenberg or the real Mark Zuckerberg is geekier looking.
Oh,
Jesse Eisenberg.
Let's go to my top.
Yeah.
I think he was.
Yeah.
I think the real Zuckerberg probably was when he was younger?
No, let's go around to that. Zuckerberg's kind of representation in this movie. We've all seen interviews with him, right? At some point or another. Does he seem as, how he was represented in the movie seems... That's Michael Cera.
Thank you.
Michael Cera
plays an awkward 12-year-old in every movie.
Plus Sandberg equals Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that there.
It's kind of
see that.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
No, you're right.
That is awesome.
But I think they kind of he seemed very antisocial. He seemed very.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
you also have
what's
to
that
remember
personality type? Well, I guess just socially awkward.
It suggested that they made him look like he has Asperger's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For one thing.
Yeah, because of like how he was rambling to his girlfriend, and just like completely out of touch with how she was trying to approach emotions, and he was just like, "No, I apologize. I'm sorry. I apologize."
Yeah.
Like that is Asperger's.
Yeah. So,
Asperger's.
Oh.
Only you, Judge.
I'm not gonna.
Put a disclaimer at the bottom of this video that says I apologize and whatnot, and we'll move on.
So it's a very, of course, this is, I like...
The finest of the burgers.
I'm trying to get to you. How do you guys feel about his representation and in this film?
I think it's...
Yeah, what are we comparing it to? Just that one interview?
Not the Sweatgate interview.
Well, you also have to remember that was before Facebook totally took off.
Yeah.
So at the time they're showing him in the movie, he probably was like that in life because he didn't have the social interaction needed to face a public light. So, I mean, once he started doing lots of interviews and stuff, you kind of adapt. You have to, or else people are going to stop doing interviews with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like they say that even when someone is diagnosed with Asperger's, they don't recommend necessarily putting them in a school that is just people who are socially awkward, because if you don't expose anybody to
learn to deal with
the environment.
Yeah.
So
and these days, you got to imagine he's being coached by his.
Oh yeah, he's being coached. He's going to meetings every day. He has to deal with employees, so he's being forced out of his show.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he was probably like that what we saw in the movie.
And it makes sense. I mean, for the amount of like coding he did and was capable of, there's only so much room in your head when you're that young. Yeah. So
what was that 36-hour stretches that he would go?
Yeah.
He'd be plugged in.
Yeah.
Which that's a thing, with the coders.
Yeah, certainly is. When you get on a coding tangent, nobody stops you.
No, exactly. I don't know where else you would ask from here.
Well, I was thinking.
What else stuck out for this one?
Well, something I kept like thinking about is like I watch this movie and I get excited about it because I'm like, this is what I do. Like it's something to be.
Tasha just got up and left. I don't know why. He didn't even say anything.
But like as people embedded in these
industries... Is he getting another coffee or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's awkward.
We were just talking about social ineptness.
Yeah, there you go.
Prime example.
Maybe he's got Asperger's.
Maybe he got hungry after we mentioned it.
Oh. Maybe this should be cut.
Maybe he wants a meatless sandwich. I don't know. It's delicious for having no meat, by the way.
But like when movies come out that involve.
Yes, Ron.
Unlike Future and Shoots, I love them. You never know what's gonna happen.
Like when Hackers came out, anybody involved with tech was like, gotta see Hackers. And at this point, if you haven't seen Hackers,
it's the most relatable to what I'm doing.
You lose geek cred. And like antitrust was the same thing.
Yeah.
Where like people were like, yeah, Microsoft, like I get it, it's cool, like this is what happened, this is a recollection of what actually happened behind the scenes. And so movies like this excite us, but I'm really curious how much they would excite somebody else. Because there's also like there's still people who don't use Facebook. How much would they care about this? How compelling would they find this movie? Because like
this is that Facebook thing that everybody's talking about.
Right. But so like. But
it's Aaron Sorkin, so they announced pretty heavily that it's Aaron Sorkin in this film, and Kevin Spacey had a hand in it.
Yeah, but I find it difficult to detach, to like put myself in the different hat and be like.
Now, when we saw the pre-screening, Chachi's back. When we saw the pre-screening, and Chachi, you can attest to this. There's a lot of older people there. That seem to be really
I've
into
learned,
it.
because I go to a lot of pre-screenings.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've learned that if you give old people a ticket to anything, they'll go and watch it. I'm not kidding. I went and saw Superbad on a pre-screening. There was more older people there than there were our generation.
I agree with him on that.
You give old people a ticket to see anything for free. They're there.
Okay. So you don't think that audience is coming out to it?
No.
They
don't give a shit what Facebook is.
But they were still, I thought, engaged in it.
Yeah.
But the people in front of us at the screening we went to, they seemed really into it and were talking to each other about it. Not in they confused what the hell are they talking about, you know. So I think there's so much buzz over it now.
Do you think that's because of just it being a fairly good movie? Or
that's my question. Is this a good movie on the grounds that it's about Facebook, or is this a good movie on the grounds that it's a movie about, a double cross?
Well, how much of it is actually about the site versus how much of it is actually about the people on it?
Yeah. How much of the context is
which even
Facebook?
with, and there was some commentary the other night, I don't know if you guys caught The Daily Show and the Colbert Thursday night where they had Justin Timberlake and then they had Aaron Sorkin on Colbert. Nobody uses Facebook. Nobody on this movie uses Facebook. Is one thing. Like, all of them are admitted, like, I hardly even... Well, Timberlake was, in his interview, was very awkward. He says, I don't have time. I do all this stuff. I don't have time to be on the internet and do this stuff.
Yeah.
Sorkin actually came on. I actually tweeted a quote from it. It was something along the line... I'm trying to think off the top of my head here. But it was, social networks are to being social as reality TV is the reality.
I think
it was an interesting quote.
I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. When was it? I don't know, a couple days ago. But somebody was asking me, like, because they know I was at work. It was somebody. They know that I do the social media thing and I do PodCamp and all that stuff. And she was asking me, like, how I have time to do it. And that was the question. Like, how do you have time to do it? I'm like, well, I don't make time. Like, I'm not like, I'm going to go to my computer and use Facebook for 30 minutes.
It's the thing you do.
It's like, it's in my pockets. It's how I communicate to my friends. It's as much as 50 years ago, somebody would make a phone call to their neighbor to talk to them. I whip out my Facebook, and that's how I send messages and plan events and stuff like that. And that's how it's relevant to me. And because it's so embedded, I don't have to make time for it. Like, as weird as it sounds, like, social media is my life.
It seems like it fills in all those times where you would be bored.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's totally fine for it to do that because it's such a low-lying, like, it's not an intellectual activity. Like, as much as you can drone on and be bored and, like, stare at the TV and not learn anything, you might be fiddling through Facebook, talking with your friends. It is recreational time.
How many people, are allowed to Twitter or can get away with Twitter at work?
Right.
And is it really any different than conversing with your coworkers? Has been my argument.
Exactly. It is another means of having a conversation.
I think it's more destructive to my workflow to have a conversation with my coworkers that goes on for 15 minutes debating politics. Then there you go. Yeah, because we always have the political conversations, of course.
Or something.
Yeah, or something.
It's always something.
Or something like that. Versus,
like your hour conversation.
You got something pop up. It's like, oh, this is video. Of course, this is rendering. I wonder what everybody's up to. Chachi hates his job today, et cetera, et cetera.
That's why I'm on Twitter. I don't like talking to my coworkers.
You'd rather talk to the rest of the world than your coworkers.
That's because the rest of the world is more intelligent.
But I digress.
But I get the feeling that like everybody gets a Facebook when they're in college or high school at this point, or middle school or kindergarten, however old you are at this point when you get a Facebook. And you, like any new shiny toy that lets you do a lot of cool things, there's a perversion that happens where you want to do everything with it. You want to overuse it. The same thing that happened to Flash. And then eventually you pull away from it because you say it's occupying too much of your time, and you go back to the normal life. And then in that transition, you realize there's holes in your life that need to be filled, like means of conversation, means of communication and organization. And Facebook eventually fills those holes when you get back to that part of your life. So I think there's a lot of young people that are overusing it right now, and that's where that exaggeration of
We got you raised your hand.
No, I overuse it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's where you get that.
I thought you were.
No,
speak on this.
That real life to reality TV comparison is the overuse and the perversion. And then there's people like us who are, I use it to communicate with my friends. I'm also using it to talk to clients to, make business transactions.
And we're probably in the minority there, using it in a productive fashion.
Right. But I think or
even think it is a productive thing, rather than, just something, that stupid thing you do on your phone that just wastes your time and has no purpose.
Just like people at one time said that talking on the phone was a waste of time.
It's true.
There you go.
Like for every technology today that we call a waste of time, at one time there was a predecessor before that we called a waste of time, and we now depend on life or death.
It's kind of how the new medias always get demonized. Like video games are getting torn down like music and comic books were 30 years ago.
Exactly.
So
it's just a progression.
It's the same thing with these new methods of being social. So there you go.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
Commentary?
What he said.
Yeah.
I pointed the right way too.
You did. Yeah, that's nice.
I was looking at the screen.
That was nice for looking at the screen because I always go wrong.
Wait, would you then just confuse him for him?
I would have.
Somebody confused
We're not looking at
me
us,
for
right?
him.
Because
him for me.
That I can understand, but two of you?
Well, no,
yeah,
because
look,
looking at the screen,
we're totally.
looking at the screen, I would have went like that.
Well, there's something there.
It's in the heritage.
I mean, intern.
And it's our own battling with technology. Anyways, you were going to say?
First off, Rob, you need to stop keeping your social network in your pants.
The rating just went up to PG-13.
All right. Moving on.
You said it. You said you keep your social network in your pocket.
Oh,
you gotta stop that.
For that edit point there. Chachi destroyed our recording.
Chachi broke it.
Don't blame me. I didn't touch anything.
You were the guy talking.
No, it was Rob.
had a
Rob
follow-
overloaded the circuits and it said, "I can't handle this."
Well, we got
all over the table. You had to clean up computer goo.
We did get an update while we were sitting here fixing things. Ironically, from Twitter. Apparently, the Social Network. I lost it. The Social Network movie made about $8 million yesterday on opening night. So from @FS Mikey from the Kiss Freak Show.
I wonder how they're doing on Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes? They were 100% for the longest time.
I saw them at 96.
But there was only so many, there's only so many reviews. There's still 96?
I don't know.
I'll tell you in a second.
I mean, he'll pull it up. You got the Flickster app going.
Box office.
But Chachi, what were you saying?
I don't know. What was I saying?
You were agreeing with me. And then
Malengo had something he was going to say that I forgot.
I don't even remember.
97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
97%? That's better than Iron Man, right?
I am Iron Man.
So with the 97%, only 81% of the users actually liked it.
Oh yeah?
Right there.
So
do you think it went over some? It could have gone over some people's head. The older or the group that doesn't have Facebook. What's going on?
This is completely. Anyways, you're saying Malengo.
The group that doesn't have Facebook. Do you think that seeing this movie would actually? Because you heard that whole argument of people saying that, oh, I'm going to cancel my Facebook account.
Yeah. We actually heard somebody say that on the way out of the theater at the screening. They were like, oh, I don't think I can be on Facebook anymore.
It's like, why? I don't see any kind of ethical thing that.
Someone on Twitter said that too.
Someone on Twitter said they were.
And I asked them why.
Yeah.
And they said they were actually planning on it before. They just happened to think of it.
They're like, the guy that created this is a douchebag. Unlike everybody else that's ever had a business.
Yeah, I mean, like one of the biggest arguments that I try to remind people whenever they bash on Facebook or the privacy policies. I mean, not to say that the privacy policy wasn't a mishandling by a $50 million corporation, but or company, not incorporated. But it's a company. Like they're there to make money. You can be as altruistic as you want to be.
Google is having a problem with the "don't be evil" policy. Lately.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a real big debate about that.
You have to pay the bills no matter what.
And I still love Google.
And
the shadiness,
right?
Even the shadiness.
When it comes to the bio of Zuckerberg, he didn't care about the money. He cared about people knowing that he was a golden god when it came to programming. Mission accomplished. High five.
There you go.
You win. Ding, ding, ding.
So when you're like, oh, well, you know, they're evil, they're out to get me, everything you buy is out to get you. I'm sorry. Somebody's trying to turn a buck on you at every point.
This Coke is trying to kill me.
And all that.
This Coke's trying to kill you? You don't know what's in there.
It's out to get me.
There's corn in there.
There's a lot of corn.
Yeah.
There's corn in there.
It's made to make you go buy another one in about 3 minutes.
Yep, exactly.
And that's cheese. Another interesting note from this, you mentioned the security and privacy. That was actually something brought up in the movie a little bit, kind of in passing, about it going together.
Just a little bit.
You know, which is,
and the funny
false advertising.
Yeah. The funny statement was that because he first came out with Face Smash, where he compared the two girls, and then the thing that they said in the movie was that Facebook came out to try and recover his reputation
by adding a layer of security,
by adding a layer of privacy
that the first one did when it brought down the network.
So much for that.
Let's be honest, though. That guy doesn't care about his reputation.
No, at this point he doesn't care.
Well, yeah. No,
well, I mean, he said it in the movie. He's like, you think I care? I didn't get it in the Phoenix.
CEO, bitch.
Money.
You know? Like, I could buy it and turn it into my ping pong court.
Now, how much of those, some of the more memorable lines came from Zuckerberg in this one in the depositions, which are probably the closest to what we actually know happened.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
I want to read the book. After seeing the movie, I want to read the book.
Right.
I never got a chance to finish it. Anyway, I started it, but
I'll pick it up tonight. I'm gonna bootleg it. I'll pick it up tonight.
We'll have to edit that.
Piracy is not a crime. Wait, yes.
Yes. Oh.
Still definitely a crime.
Chachi's motives and opinions do not reflect all of us on the AwesomeCast.
Oh, and to get super nerdy about it, the movie also brings to mainstream light, as in like, you know, box office movie theater, the idea and all the problems we're having with software patents and how the copyright system is broken, intellectual property laws.
So there is a main stage example of intellectual property issues, which I think only us have been talking about.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, us on this level, on this podcast.
I mean, it comes out
in tech journalism and everything.
Everybody's familiar with, you know, I wrote this piece of music and you copied this piece of music and that's my work and you copied it. So, like, you made that sandwich, I stole your sandwich, it's my sandwich now, I'm going to tell everybody else that I made the sandwich and you didn't make that sandwich. And that's pretty easy to understand. But the idea of, like, you know, what was their last name, the twins?
Winklevoss. Winklevoss.
Winklevoss.
I remember Winklevoss.
They were the Winklevoss.
For the two of them, yes.
That was funny.
So they had this idea, the Harvard version of Facebook, and it's just an idea. So all these lawsuits, these lawsuits are based on the equivalent of a 10-minute conversation. Nothing was written down and nothing was recorded, and this is all based on hearsay. Something that,
but they do have the emails to back it up.
They have the emails to back it up, but still, the meat of it is that we had this idea and we passed this idea around. They didn't really necessarily discuss the idea, except for the fact that yes, we confirmed that we exchanged an idea, but they never wrote it out. That was all in person in the meeting. And so this is something that in any other court of law, whatever you're dealing with, it doesn't fly. Like, there's no evidence there. But because it's intellectual property, it's a big deal.
And even to that point, like, it didn't need to fly because he was such an abrasive personality that he could never win a court case, like they demonstrated at the end of the movie.
Yeah, they pointed out that no matter what you do and how nice you may be in person, you're going to lose to a jury.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed. And moving on. Another interesting thing was the argument when, of course, the funds got froze at one point about Facebook doesn't go down. That's a big step backwards for them. And what just happened? This last week?
Did they actually go down?
They did.
They were down.
Like
officially
worldwide.
Well, the official website was down. Every other version of the website was up, though.
What do you mean by that?
You could get to it on your phone. I could get to it on my phone.
You could access the servers, but you couldn't go to the front end.
Right.
Did we ever? Do we know why? Has anybody heard?
I heard.
Was that the one I heard about that where they had to reset it in order to get it back to work? Like they had that
Eduardo froze the funds.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Maybe it was a big marketing scheme for this movie coming out.
There you go.
You know, they're like, oh, Facebook's in the news again.
It'd be awesome if they
we gave a lot of money to Newark.
They came back up
and
the login page said Eduardo froze the account. Sorry.
Whoops! There's a picture of him and a broken wagon wheel, like big. Which of all the times, where they would do this, it's this week where everybody's going to see Facebook never goes down in this movie that has already made $8 million.
Right.
So, fantastic.
Yeah. Everyone got a personalized message on Facebook from Mark Zuckerberg that just says, "I'm CEO, comma, bitch."
Yeah.
I like the ending of the movie. That was really nice. That the touch where he, spoiler, in case you didn't get it already, where he the very like last minutes of the movie, he goes to his the girlfriend that broke up with him in the opening scene. He goes to her Facebook page because the chick who was standing next to
the hot one from The Office, I think we refer to her as.
Oh yeah, she is the hot one from The Office.
But she wasn't Mark's counsel. She was assisting Mark's counsel. It's like it was her first month in the firm.
And she was just not assisting. More.
She was an associate.
She was an associate.
She was there
She's observing.
Just to observe and learn how they do things. And she was just like, you're not an asshole. It's just that you're trying too hard to be. And so he loads up his ex-girlfriend's Facebook profile, which is now fully populated, and he hits friend requests.
You really think she would jump on Facebook knowing that he's the one behind Facebook?
Everybody else is on Facebook. That's
I guess
the thing.
so.
Like that's one thing that keeps you on it. Like the people that say that they can abandon Facebook, it's because they're only using it to like jerk around. They're not actually
like we talked about before.
There's like it's not a big deal.
But did you hear about the falsity to that scene though? That he has had a girlfriend throughout the entire process.
Really?
Yes.
That's lame.
That's lame.
That's lame.
It doesn't make as good of a movie.
Additional drama. I hate that.
But of course, was when Sorgatron was on Colbert the other night, he said his purpose was to make a good movie.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you're.
It was a good movie. I think I can safely say it was a good movie.
And there's definitely going to be a little bit of more, like we said about they kind of sexed it up a little bit, added a little bit more drama to it. But it was a good movie, But every biography glamorizes it a little bit,
I can't wait for the sequel.
The sequel?
Oh
Right.
gosh.
What? No?
Twitter movie?
Right.
142nd.
Well, I mean, a lot of people have posed that there will be sequels, in like the Google movie.
Yeah. What's the latest on the Google movie?
Is it a
story of how Google got put together?
Can you search for the Google movie?
Can we instant search the Google movie?
You probably can. It's basically.
I haven't heard.
There was a book written about Google.
Okay.
There's some catchy subtitle about being evil.
But nobody got screwed.
Not that you know of.
Or China. Are we going? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't even know
really
how they
short,
do it.
but
then again, we didn't know how they were going to do a Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like really how do you do?
Unless you had read the book, nobody knew.
Exactly.
So Google is going to have a movie. So this is like opening the door because with the transparency that we're seeing with social media and this inner network of multiple computers around the world that we're so familiar with. A lot of people are writing stories about the companies. You're learning a lot more. I mean, there's stories about how Starbucks
people are interested.
Everybody wants to know.
Yeah, and I kind of attribute it to we start seeing movies about Wall Street, about exactly what's making that tick, especially since it affects all of us.
There's been a few, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a movie recently. I didn't even know it was about the crash, and it was about the crash.
Yeah, there you go. People are curious about how the gears of that works with politics.
People adding me on Twitter.
People are adding you on Twitter. Who's this? Is that the Phasian from the movie there?
It might be.
Look at Rob's
Her
new
name
friend.
is Chrissy.
Chrissy
Soy Sauce.
Chrissy Soy Sauce.
Which she's on the south side and she hasn't updated her account in a month.
Oh.
Which makes me curious if it's actually an account.
But she's on the south side. Anyways, it's probably for an escort service or something.
Probably. Well, there's a link. She's got a MySpace.
Wait,
I live in Pittsburgh, PA, but I'm moving to Huntington Beach, California.
Wait, hold on. Stop. Rewind a little bit.
Following 400 people and has 1,100 followers.
No, wait. Rewind a little bit. People still have MySpace pages?
Oh, yeah, people do. Especially tweens.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, definitely.
It still exists to somebody out
and
there.
it's
Really?
still MySpace
They have,
music, too. MySpace music is still a
Facebook
huge deal, yeah.
Wow.
They're in such a big position with MySpace music that they can still compete
Yeah.
as far as hosting band websites.
Oh, yeah.
If they wanted to, they could play
So many band websites. I think Cottonmouth Kings. You go to their .com, it just goes to their MySpace. Everybody's like, why do I need to host something if it does everything we need right here?
Because nobody goes there.
I left that trailer park a long time ago.
It is the trailer park of the internet at this point. So.
I packed my trailer.
And then the trailer.
I moved to a farm.
The trailer parkers are trying to move over to Facebook. I've noticed, and we're just like, no, we're going to leave this as closed garden.
Yeah.
Well, no, what I did was I packed my trailer and I moved to Farmville.
Oh, I see.
See what I did there? No?
Not good.
I have nothing good to say about that.
No. You're actually losing points.
Yep.
Taking rails
for the
off your train.
record, I've never played Farmville.
No, me neither. And Godfinger got on a little bit.
I need to uninstall Godfinger because I'm tired of receiving push notifications.
Yeah, everybody's dying on your planet. You should go save them.
No, actually, I don't
Let
care.
them die.
You've annoyed me to the point that I don't care.
Where's the Farmville movie?
Let's not.
That isn't too far off because those they're ploying to some deep-seated psychological issues with the human race.
Yeah, you're at least going to have the why Farmville is evil
and
book and documentary at some point.
And
documentary.
What was the psychological? The psychological. Oh, was the gamers one?
Yeah.
What was it? What was it called? I can't remember.
Gamer.
Was it just Gamer?
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's like the documentary about World of Warcraft and all those people like.
Yeah.
Or are you thinking of something else?
I'm thinking of something.
I think
No. There was a documentary about
Right.
Yeah. There was No. There's a documentary about EverQuest, about all of these MMOs and people that like couples that game together and met online. It's like really sick stuff. Okay.
That sounds bad.
I think they touched on the illegal gold farming operations.
Like, I don't want to watch that. That sounds boring. Well, like, why do I
through the
watch
whole
It's
thing.
30
was
minutes
good.
of just footage of like a cubicle farm and everybody's farming.
There you go. It's worth a look. Seriously, I can't. Do you remember the name of it?
No, I don't.
The internet at our fingertips and we can't remember anything.
I think Missy's looking it up. I mean,
No,
the
she's
intern.
What am I looking up?
Recipes? What?
Recipes?
No?
What am I looking up?
I don't know.
What am I supposed
What
to
are
do?
you doing? Are you playing Angry Birds again?
Angry Birds just updated.
What? She has a tail.
Second Skin? No? Yes.
Anyways, Second Skin. Yeah, that's
MMO
exactly it.
documentary, Second Skin.
That's it. You would actually be interested in that.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh,
Oh my god. That's why I'm like over here freaking out. I'm like, I have to tell somebody.
Did you tweet that?
are they?
Did you tweet that then?
No, I did not.
Get on there.
There's a furry.
Anyhow.
It's a furry man.
I have nothing against furries, but there's one behind us. She's got a huge rack and a tail. Just saying.
I have no idea if that's picking up.
Oh, she does have a huge rack.
All right, this is degenerated a little bit. All right, any final thoughts on this, guys?
Go see
I'm
it.
sorry, what? I was
Go see it.
distracted.
Go see it. Join Facebook. Have fun. Whatever. Don't
What?
play Farmville.
No.
I guess I can't
If
say
you
that.
play Farmville, I will search down your IP, and I will trace you, and I will come to your door, and I will yank you out of your computer room and beat you.
He has done that to me
Right.
many times, so I can attest to that.
Any final thoughts? You okay there?
No.
I'm good. But it was a good movie. I was very pleasantly surprised. Oh, and the other thing I want to say, a lot of people were saying that, like, oh, I was surprised they showed Mark Zuckerberg in a pretty bright light. No.
You know, they had a couple points where it was very humanizing of him. So maybe they put that. Well, maybe he's not that bad of a guy, or he means well, or he's just very dedicated. Also, you know, another thing I noticed: anytime anything bad happened, they turned around to Drive. When he got turned down, when he ran into his ex in the restaurant, got turned down. I have to go home and work on Facebook.
He came off as a very hard-working, dedicated, antisocial individual.
Yeah, which, you know, I can see the relation to that, because sometimes, you're like, you get jolted by something, you just turn it around into some positive energy.
Yeah, bury yourself into your work.
There you go. You know, it's kind of a protection for yourself. But really good movie. Go see it. You know, obviously a lot of people are already seeing it. So there you go.
Yeah.
I want to thank Caribou Coffee for allowing us to come in here and the camera and be weird people and talking about a Facebook movie with a camera.
Yeah.
And everything.
We'd like to thank Korn too.
Korn is pretty awesome
for making everything.
Everything that we know.
You can't quite see it, but there's a big diagram here.
Yes. Everything we know, including this gut right here. Yes, free. Exactly.
Because I'm awesome.
You guys.
Good child.
I agree.
You guys gonna sing the AwesomeCast theme?
It's getting awesome. It's getting awesome.
Bangtunes.com. You got comics going on?
Oh yeah, I do have comics going on.
Follow at Bangtunes.
Yeah. Or I actually got the new website up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but it's sad. So yeah, follow it, whatever.
Go to Bangtunes.com. Check out his comic. Chachi's at chachisays.net. All kinds of episodes coming up there.
Although I've decided that I think I'm going to buy a new domain.
Why?
I'm going to put -movie at the end because I think you can get more followers that way. More visits.
And planning ahead
you
for
at least
when
get people looking, you know?
Right.
That's true. That's an interesting
You should just Chachi says
-movie.
You should just get Chachi says the movie. Work in progress, because I haven't lived my life yet.
I don't ever want to see a movie about myself.
I think
that'd be a good name for a blog. Come to think of it.
What, like Chachi says the movie?
No, like so and so themovie.com, and so the header is
AwesomeCastTheMovie.com.
And then the header is screenwriting in progress, and that's your blog. That's pretty good. See what I'm doing there?
And this is all on video, so
intellectual property.
If you steal my intellectual property,
you're gonna have to go buy the .com before I post this.
Probably.
That'd be a good idea.
Great.
There's people out there who do that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. That's why ChachiSays.com is gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh? Who has it? Do you know?
An SEO.
Somebody not Chachi.
I actually emailed with her. She took it at auction and won't give it back. I offered her $50 for it.
That's just weird.
That's ridiculous.
It's an SEO.
She's not using it.
Need I say more?
Is she squatting it?
No, she just picked it up after it expired by accident.
Because if she's squatting it, you can actually get it back. There are laws for that kind of thing. They have something like 6 months to actually make use of it after acquisition.
We're not Madonna.
But if Madonna sets a precedent.
Madonna, thank you, Madonna, for setting that precedent for the rest of us. But we'll have to look at that.
I have attorneys.
Yeah, there is.
You know attorneys.
If you work in a law firm, it's pretty.
It's easy. It's easy.
You pretty much have friends.
I don't know where we're going with this, so we're going to.
We have an entire IP department.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the AwesomeCast. Thank you.
I'll get my domain back.
We'll see you guys next week after a little hiatus here.
See ya.